Literally.
Yeah, whatever you can squeeze me in for, I'm good. Yeah. The only downside, of course, is that you like obviously don't get to go out during that time. But if you're not worried about that, then it's much better to make the money. So
Like,
yeah, no, like now I'm good. No, I'm pretty comfortable at this point. Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Like, mm-hmm.
like two sisters.
Yeah. 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 I'll do one and then it's my bedtime, actually. So you have no idea how late it is because it's actually early in the morning now. It's fine. At least then you have like a good reason, like I'll go, and then at that hour mark you leave. So exactly. Oh, I have to get up for real estate. So sorry. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love it. All right. So what we're going to do today, everybody, online as well, we are going to dive into KWB resources because I want you guys obviously to be aware of where all your tools live. So we are going to go through where everything can be found on this webpage. Always, like, I will preface with the fact that I do talk really fast. I try super hard not to, and it just doesn't work out for me. So if I'm going too quickly through anything at any point, please say so because I will be able to hear you guys online in the overhead. And then Abby, obviously, you can let me know if I'm going too fast as well. And then at any point, if you guys have questions, we can also stop and we can go over those questions as they're coming to you versus waiting until the very end. So we'll go ahead and dive right in. As a reminder, our office website is kwbresources.com. And when we first arrive at this page, I'm going to just kind of take you guys to different things as we come across them, showing you hopefully the most convenient ways to get to everything. The very first thing I always start with is our new agent button on the homepage. And that will actually take you to a section that's designed specifically for you guys as new agents because it just pulls a lot of helpful information into one area. If you click the left-hand Learn More button under Getting Started, you're actually going to be taken to a quick little breakdown sheet that outlines the entire onboarding process. So it's just going to give you guys an idea of what to expect during onboarding, although everybody usually has completed that by the time that they've attended my class. So congratulations, you guys are through that. And what you'll see at the very bottom is actually some things that you can begin to do immediately, one of which will be browsing this website with me today. Obviously, then going on and doing that for yourselves as well in your leisure. We're going to look at the office calendar. Ignite is going to be one of the few trainings on that calendar that I always, always, always encourage from day one. It's going to be so incredibly helpful for you guys because it is going to outline really a strong foundation regarding your real estate careers. We know that a lot of times when you guys leave real estate school, you still feel like you do not know what you're doing the next day or how to really act as a real estate agent. So Ignite is designed to go over all of that information with you so you understand everything you thought you were going to learn in real estate school. And the really great thing is it's actually taught by top producers right here in the office. So if you guys can do the in-person sessions, those are usually the best ones to do just because they're right here in the office. You make connections with agents right here in the office. And our in-person Ignite will start up again on Friday, November 7th. We'll actually have a really great orientation week leading into that launch date. So you'll find some other great training opportunities on the calendar as well that week that I would really encourage for you guys as new agents. And then if you are dual career and it's going to be tricky for you guys to do the Ignite sessions in person, I totally understand. You guys always have the opportunity to do Ignite after dark. So it's the same content, just at a time that might work better for you. So if you're interested in Ignite after dark, let me know. If you do not already have information on that, just shoot me an email and I can pass it along. Otherwise, we're going to look at a couple key Facebook pages to join. And then also attending office meetings is another big piece of the puzzle. And you guys are already doing that. So thank you for your time today. But we will go back to that new associate button or new associate tab, I should say. On the right-hand side under basic training, you're also going to see there's a spot that says learn more. If you click on that, it will take you to the Scott Leroy Marketing YouTube channel, Scott Leroy Marketing website. We'll look at that in a little bit. On the Scott Leroy Marketing website, there's just a few items that I usually will point out for you guys while we're sitting on this page. Although I would implore that you guys go to this website at your leisure and do a lot more exploration just because there's so much on here that we just don't have time to to squeeze into this 1 hour today. But on the Scott Leroy website, you'll see right away that we are going to stop at this search bar. That search bar is great because you can search for keywords related to what you're looking for, and it will pull it right up for you. One example I always give is the QR codes that you see on everything nowadays. If you have never made a QR code for yourself before and you're not quite sure how, you actually can go about that process by using the Scott Leroy team. You really can just actually search QR code. It'll bring up a form. You plug in specific information that you're asked for, and then the team themselves will actually send you that QR code for free, usually within an hour of you submitting that form. So just keep that in mind as one of the few concierge services that like right here is obvious. There's actually a ton more that they can help you guys out with, again, for free. So that's where I always want to make sure you guys do some more exploration on your own. But while we're looking at the rest of this site, we talked about that search bar being helpful. You'll also find that there's an agent resources tab at the top, but right now it's going to be just a button option. So if you click on it, the question you'll be asked right away is what our market center number is. And our market center number is 350. So you've probably seen that number a few times now. That is one you'll probably be asked for a couple more times along the way. But we are market center 350. Once you've typed in that number, it is actually going to now open up, and you'll see that that same button at the top for agent resources is now a drop-down menu. So there's a ton of different content here that you guys can take advantage of, including under training, and then go to the sidebar menu that says training calendar. You're going to see that they actually, as a Scott Leroy team, have their own live technology webinars happening Monday through Friday from 1 to 2 o'clock. So I always like to mention this because I know that we offer fantastic tech trainings right here in this office, and everyone's schedule looks different. So if for any reason the Tuesdays and the Thursdays from 1 to 2 is hard for you to wiggle into your schedule, but maybe Friday afternoons work a little bit better for you, you have the opportunity to hop onto Scott Leroy trainings, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock every single weekday. And if you click on it, it will tell you exactly what that topic will be focused on. So that way you know ahead of time if you'd like to participate in that class. We do, of course, like I said, have the trainings that are offered in the Market Center and online through the Market Center as well. But sometimes they're rotating those topics. So if you're realizing that you're looking for something specific and it's just not coming up in the next couple weeks, but you want that information in a timely manner, this is a great way for you to supplement the technology training that you have access to here with just some additional resources and additional opportunities. So keep that in mind. It's super easy. You just click on the Zoom link to hop on the live webinar. Other than that, though, you'll find that they do also have some recorded training classes broken down by their subject matter. So again, really easy for you guys to find specific content you may be looking for on demand. And then there's going to be these agent support and marketing support buttons. Marketing support specifically, I'll point out to you guys, you'll see there that they have several different concierge pieces, again, available to you guys for free through our partnership with their team. So please, please, please take advantage of that. And I encourage you guys to look into it a little bit further, just because there's so many things that they do for you that I might not even really take full advantage of because I'm not an agent. So I want you guys to know all the ways that you have assistance and for free, especially being brand new. Because I know, for example, like if you guys are doing a listing, if you got a listing coming live, you actually can send a lot of that information to their team and they will actually put together a flyer and send it back to you. So as long as you give them like 48 hours notice, they can get everything back to you in a timely manner. So keep that in mind on top of anything else that may be going on. Okay. And then underneath, if we scoot over a little bit further, you're also going to find the agent store button. So definitely please, again, look at those concierge services, but we also have the store option here. If you click on the store button, it's going to take you to agentstore.com. Agentstore.com is going to be a great resource for you guys because one of the biggest questions I get when you guys first get started is about business cards. How do you get those ordered? I always will encourage you guys to use Agent Store for several different reasons. One of which is that they offer a fantastic price point. It's really hard to compete with what they have to offer. But for the second reason, they also offer pre-done templates on their website specific to Keller Williams. So it makes it much easier because you actually still have like 32 different options and some small customizations from there to still set yourself apart. But you could literally find a pre-done template and then all you have to do is plug in your specific information before you place that order. I will stress though for you guys that for our hey PJ, I will stress for you that for those of you who are provisional brokers, you will absolutely have to get Tasha Viney, our BIC Associates, approval on your business card design before you place your order. Hi.
I just wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Learn all about business cards, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I figured. I'll help show you the ropes. Don't worry. Sorry guys. So for ordering your business cards, like I said, Tasha Viney, our BIC associate, must approve your design if you are provisional broker status, because there are certain things you can have on there and absolutely cannot have. So please consult with her. It's a simple shoot her a text with the photo, stop by her office with that photo, but she can then approve the design so that you can order something with confidence, knowing you're not spending money on something you're not allowed to use. Through the same site, you also can go about ordering name tags, different swag or merchandise branded to Keller Williams. So just something to keep in mind, again, because of the competitive price point and because so much is already pre-done for you. If you are not provisional broker status, but you are just double checking yourself, we do have some advertising guidelines available, and you're still welcome to consult with Tasha just to make sure all your bases are covered. If you are very, very excited about capitalizing on your brand and you do not want to have something that looks kind of standard, you want something very specific and unique to your business, you can always go through Vistaprint. You can always go through Canva to design the business cards. But I would just absolutely make sure even if you're broker status, just have Tasha look at it if you're doing something that custom, because we want to make sure you have everything you need on there. But yes, Agent Store is going to be a great resource for you guys to use. All right, I want that to go away. There we go. Okay, so there we go. And then, so those are the key items I point out on Scott Leroy's website. But again, you guys have full opportunity to explore further because there's tons more we've yet to cover. Below all of that information we've looked at so far, you'll find actually a list of Facebook pages that we recommend joining. The top one actually is one that I would have already emailed to you guys as part of your welcome emails you've received from me. But that is going to be an internal Facebook page designed specifically for our agents and for our leadership team. So on there, you're seeing tons of collaboration happen firsthand. You guys are seeing about open house opportunities, showing opportunities, ways for you to get your foot in the door. But you're also going to find that a lot of times our agents are asking each other questions. If you're looking for a referral agent you can trust in a certain area, if you're looking for a vendor you can trust for a kind of outskirt of Charlotte area, it's an easy way for you guys to also get great recommendations from other agents on the page. I'm also always on there talking about the upcoming trainings and events, so I make it very difficult for you guys not to know what's going on. And we recommend being part of that Facebook page just so you can get a little bit more sense of community. You guys can celebrate wins together. You guys can welcome other new agents to come in after you as well. So it's really just a great page to be part of to stay in the loop on the Market Center. Below that, though, is another Facebook group that is run by this Market Center. It is not just our agents and our leadership team, but we are also adding our vendor partners to this page. And so that is going to be the second one here. But this is going to have our vendor partners. So here at KW Ballantyne, we do have a preferred vendor program, and it's actually designed and built up of great vendors that have all actually already worked with KW Ballantyne agents. So you know that they've been vetted and you can trust that they are going to provide a product or service that your clients will love. So if you guys, especially being so new, if you guys do not yet have somebody in mind to handle home inspections or to do your listing photography, we would absolutely recommend looking into our current vendor list. You are not limited to those vendors, but it's just an easy way for you guys to access people that you know you can trust. And in addition to the actual spreadsheet that we track all our vendor partners on, which I will show you later on, this Facebook group will have those vendors as part of it. So it's great because they're on there talking about the different products and services they offer. They're talking about new opportunities within their company, also talking about promotions they may be running. So easy ways for you guys to get connected. Underneath that, though, there is Charlotte Area Realtor Network, which you guessed it, is just going to be real estate agents here in Charlotte, not specific to a certain brokerage. And then below that is KW Carolinas region, and that is going to be a Facebook page of all the Keller Williams offices in North and South Carolina. They are all combined onto this Facebook group, so it's an easy way for you guys to make connections with other agents who may be able to be your referral partner out at the beach. And in addition to all of the fantastic agents you can meet through the Carolinas region. They also, as a region, offer their own set of training opportunities. So in addition to what we offer here in the Market Center, you guys have the opportunity to travel around the Carolinas to participate in some of those trainings as well. So really, really great stuff. Again, I always recommend definitely the top two of those Facebook pages to join, and I wouldn't stop there. I would recommend just go ahead and join all four. It's just a great way for you to begin networking. Underneath, we do come across a little button here that says colorisms. I don't normally click on this one just because I want to talk about it with you briefly. If you are hearing a ton of different terminology here in Keller Williams Ballantine, you're like, I have no idea what that is, but I'm too nice to either ask or I'm too shy to ask. Never feel shy. You always can ask questions about what you're hearing. And if you do come across that, especially late in the evening one day, and you're like, yep, nope, no idea what that is, you can click on colorisms. It will take all the unique terminology specific to KW, and it will give you almost like dictionary definitions of real world terms to go alongside that so that you guys can understand a little bit more of what you're hearing about in the office. There's some stuff like capping, usually you guys pick up on pretty quickly if you didn't already know what it was. And when you get to things like a 145, little harder to guess on that one. So definitely pay attention and use the colorism sheet anytime you feel you need it, or feel free to ask a staff member or another agent. Below that, actually one that I know we've talked about before, guys, this is answers.kw.com. This website is actually going to specifically be for our questions regarding KW Command and DocuSign, different KW technology. If you guys are realizing when you're working through everything that you have questions, especially those moments when, again, after office hours, I don't want you guys to ever feel held up because you weren't able to get a question answered. So you kind of had to hit pause on what you were doing and wait until hopefully you run into Rob in the office tomorrow. This is going to be a great resource because it's built up of frequently asked questions about Command and KW technology. So as you're trying to navigate through something for the very first time or having any difficulty, you go to answers.kw.com. You can search those keywords and helpful articles show right up. In addition to that, there is also ideas.kw.com, and that is going to be a sister website dedicated specifically to your feedback about KW technology. So if you guys are thinking, hey, I love this feature, I just wish it was available on this other page, they want to make sure Command is working for you and making your lives easier, making your workflow more efficient, and making it user-friendly for you as well. So if you guys ever have any feedback, good or bad, to provide, they want to hear that so that they can hopefully implement it in the next update. Below is a way for you guys to download those Ignite materials. For anybody that's going to be attending in person, I will make sure I email them to you personally. So don't worry if you missed that opportunity, but if you realize you don't have them at any point, of course, you can come back to our page here. There is access to the training calendar below that, but personally, I think that's one of the most complicated ways to get to the calendar. So we're going to skip it right now, and we're going to get to it a lot easier when we get back to our home page. And then lastly, you're going to come across a section designed for booking conference rooms. So in this office, we have 5 different conference rooms that vary in capacity, I think from 4 to 8 people. We also have 2 focus rooms just outside this back door of the training room here. You guys are welcome to use any of these resources whenever you would like to. All we ask is that you guys reserve those spaces so that not only do you know nobody's going to interrupt your time in there, but you also are being respectful to any reservations made by other agents so that those same resources can be on rotation for everybody. We ask also with that you guys keep those reservations to about 2 hours or less in a day. Again, just to make sure that they're available and on rotation amongst other agents, but super easy to go ahead and register for this site. All you do is click on that button there. It will take you to our third-party website called Skeda. You guys can make an account. You do not already have one. You'll go in and make an account. I usually recommend use your KW email just for consistency's sake, but it doesn't really matter. And once you've made your account, you should then have access to the spreadsheet itself where you can see at the top, it'll specify every single capacity of the conference room and the name of the conference room. If it's a focus room, it will be designated a focus room, and those actually are more independent workspaces versus your conference rooms, which is meant for when you're meeting with somebody else or more than one person. And then when you see all of those names of the conference rooms and the number that they hold in that space, on the left-hand side, you'll just see all the times throughout the day. So it's super easy to drag and drop yourself in there around what's already booked. On the same schedule, you'll also find that there's a way for you to book our media room. For those of you who've not yet taken those media room trainings, I will show you. I mean, you probably can see it. We'll talk about it in a little bit. There is a way to schedule your training sessions for the media room so that you know how to use all the technology in there. But after you've gone through 2 of those training sessions, you're welcome to also book the media room so that you can privately go in and record anything you may be looking to do for your business. But all in all, that is our new agent button. And we're going to head back to the home page real quick, and we're just going to keep scrolling through. Thankfully, a lot of this stuff will be familiar to you guys based off of our conversations when you onboarded. But you will see here that we've got an overview of our staff, our wonderful team here, also known as our leadership team. So if you guys have questions, here are some great people that you can easily reach out to. It will tell you who we are, what our role is, and how to reach us through email. Below that, we also have a section dedicated to getting paid with KW Command. That's never a bad title. We have some specific pinned videos here that Leah, our marketing consultant, has put together on your behalf. They are very, very helpful videos, the bottom of which I'd actually recommend you guys watch very early into your time here because it's going to explain to you, again, how to make sure your DocuSign and your Command account are linked together so that when you're in your Command account, you can click one button and easily jump straight into your DocuSign room. So it just makes it a lot more seamless for you guys and faster moving. But in order to do that, you actually have to go in, you have to input what's called your NERDS ID into your DocuSign account, and that is an ID that you will, or ID number that will be assigned to you after you've gotten your MLS access. So just keep that in mind. Your NERDS ID is actually your National Association of Realtors identification number. And so once you guys have your MLS access, you'll have a NERDS ID assigned to you, and you can plug it into DocuSign to get everything working correctly. But that video on the bottom will walk you through all of those steps. Above that is also a great video on how to submit a commission request. So when you guys are working with your first set of clients and you have officially gone under contract, you will be asked to submit a commission request, which basically just notifies us. More specifically, it notifies Lynn that you guys are going to be having an upcoming closing. So that way she can go in, she can look over your commission request, make sure everything looks good. And that way, when the check comes in, assuming your file is approved by Carla from a compliance standpoint, she can go ahead and issue your payment. And she's able to usually get that direct deposited for you guys next business day. Again, it's contingent usually on just if Carla's approved all of your files. So if you have not gotten approval, that is usually the only delay. But otherwise, yes, we will want those commission requests in. That is a video you guys, of course, could watch now if you wanted to. And I would recommend definitely rewatching it at the very least when you guys are prepared to put in that first commission request because it'll answer a lot of your questions. If we keep scrolling, we do get to the office training calendar. Just as a reminder for us, if you click on the office calendar button at the top tab here, it would just drag you down to this section so you didn't have to scroll your way down. But this will highlight all of the different trainings and events. And if you guys remember from our meetings together, I always recommend the full calendar view. You'll see that in the text above the calendar because I think it's 10 times easier to read what's on there when you click that button. But this way, again, it's just much simpler for you guys to identify what's coming up in the Market Center and start adding things to your calendar, start registering for things of interest for you. All you have to do is click on that specific opportunity. It will give you a full description associated with that training or event. And then if it's something we need you to register for, you'll always find the link will be included. If it's something you can do remotely, like you are, a lot of you guys are today online, you guys will always find Zoom information featured as well in the description or Google Meet. And then if it's something that you do not have to register for, just come on in. You'll find that it will specify no registration necessary, or you guys will see there's just no links associated, in which case, come on in. But otherwise, please, guys, just take a peek at what's going on anytime you wish. Truly, it's very rare to find something that's invite only on this calendar. So if it is exciting to you, we want you to be in the room for it. While Ignite is super important and we want you guys to get all the way through that program, you do not have to go all the way from session 1 to 20 before you can do any other trainings. If you guys want to do Ignite one day from 9 to noon, and then you want to do a Tech Tuesday class that afternoon afterwards, you can absolutely do both. So don't feel like you have to complete all 20 sessions before you can do a single other class. And if you guys ever have questions on what you see coming up on the calendar, please let me know. This is like my next biggest responsibility. So if you guys ever have questions, I'm a great resource. And lastly, if you would like to have easy access to this calendar, you can use the Add to Google Calendar button on the bottom left corner there in very small blue print. But it would copy all of this information directly onto your Google Calendar. And then as with Google Calendar, you can always show that calendar when you'd like to see it, and you can hide it when you do not, because you're not going to necessarily want to commit to this full time. And you guys will see conversations coming up about the orientation week we're planning before Ignite gets started again in November. But if you are curious now, you guys, once we're done today, you can take a look. But we've got some great information on what trainings will be offered during that week. We kind of just take a bunch of core trainings and slap them into one condensed week for you. So that way you can take advantage. I will say for those of you who are here with me today, you guys do not necessarily have to do day one, because Get to Know KWB is actually me just teaching this class. So good job, guys. You knocked out day 1 of 4. Alrighty, and then I'm going to take us back now to where we were on our homepage. We are going to keep scrolling down, just some upcoming events that are specifically highlighted. You'll see regularly on the calendar. ALC meetings are offered once a month. It's our Agent Leadership Council getting together. They have higher level business masterminds together, and they also are trusted to make different decisions and vote on different things on the behalf of our market center. So if we're ever contemplating making a change, not only do we consult, of course, with our leadership team, our owners, but we also then turn things over to the ALC and ask them to take a vote as well, because we want to make sure what we are doing is representative of you guys as our agent base. Next to that, we have team meetings. Those are offered the second and fourth Tuesdays of every month. They're a lot of fun, high energy. We usually fill out this room, and we typically like to feature agent panels for that, special guest speakers. We want to make sure that if you guys are giving us an hour of your time, you're actually getting some value out of it. So of course, we will still do the updates from our BIC associate. We'll get some tech updates. We'll get some different information about upcoming events as well in that. But usually the main focus is intended to be that panel or that guest speaker, so that you guys can really suck up a lot of great information while you're in the room. The other cool thing about our team meetings is that outside of them in our hub area, we invite our vendor partners to come in. So that's a great way for you guys to get connected with our vendor partners as soon as you would like to. So if you can participate in those team meetings, it's a great way to start building relationships with new vendors, and see what they could do to help you and your clients. And beside that, on the far right is Tech Tuesdays. So Tech Tuesdays are specifically focused on your KW technology, teaching you Command and DocuSign. And those are going to be offered every single Tuesday afternoon, in person and online. So if you guys would like to participate in Tech Tuesdays, they are a fantastic opportunity to get familiar with your KW technology, hopefully before you even need the information. So you're already feeling like you're a pro before you sit down with your first clients. Tech Tuesdays are going to be a great way to do that. Underneath, we come across Sabra and Tasha Viney, our BIC and BIC associate. So it's just going to specify their information. Sabra is truly wonderful. I hope some people, I know some have gotten a chance to meet with her at our inspirational breakfast, which is great. But she's not physically in the office very often. She actually stays home to care for her 102-year-old mother. Is that not crazy? It's crazy. Sabra's also in her 80s, but it's fine. She doesn't act like it at all. She is super youthful and jovial. She's just like the best. They are both, her and Tasha are super, super kind. They are super patient with you guys. And they really are here to help support you as best they can. So if you guys do have questions, again, as you're navigating transactions for the first time, I always will tell you that administrative questions, i.e. like not super time sensitive, or not necessarily legal concerns, those can be directed to Tasha Viney. She's very knowledgeable, just like Sabra, and she's happy to assist you. Sabra, though, of course, in those hair on fire, like something went totally wrong moments, that's going to be your first contact. You want to go straight to our broker in charge. But both of these lovely ladies are here to support you. Because Sabra's not physically in the office very much, you'll notice that Tasha has 3 days a week that she's here in the office. And I know, again, a lot of us are online, but Abby, if we cut all the way into the back hallway on this side of the office, that's where you'll find Tasha's office. And she usually, just like the rest of leadership, will leave her door open, so it's easy to tell if she's here and if she's available to chat with you. Underneath, I know we're nowhere near June, so I don't expect you guys to need this right away, but it is going to break down some great information about what your license requirements are, specifically with like continuing education, making sure you're up to date on all of those credentials, and making sure that you guys are not going to find yourselves inactive or with an expired license come June. So we want to make sure that you guys can check your records, get yourselves into a good spot, and then be ready for that renewal period. And then I don't know that anybody on this call is licensed in South Carolina first, but if you are and you want to do the reciprocity for North Carolina, you can find information on that here. If you guys are north going to south, that agreement there is not going to be very helpful. Just an FYI. It is truly South Carolina to North Carolina. Below here, guys, you'll find everybody that is actively serving on our ALC. So again, that Agent Leadership Council that we entrust with big decisions. You'll find everybody listed here. It will tell you who they are, what their direct committee is, and how you can contact them. They'll each have their own individual committee meetings every single month. So if anything sounds like, ooh, like what's that about? I would love to sit on that conversation. You guys can meet them for those meetings or just connect with them through email and see when they've got time where maybe you guys could sit down to chat. But career development is going to focus specifically on the trainings and events brought into the office in addition to your leadership team. So Michael and I hang out a lot. Adam Sellers is doing financial planning, so helping you guys to generate your own wealth, prepare for tax season, just making sure that you guys understand what it takes to build that future for yourselves, and also how you can share some of that with your clients too that may be interested in investing. Amber Byers is growth committee. She's focusing on new agent growth and development, bringing in new agents to the market center, but also helping you guys to grow your own downlines with new agents. So if you guys are curious and want to build your own passive income, Amber is a great person to talk to. Irene focuses on KW cares and culture. I always think like when you guys think about what makes you feel warm and fuzzy when you think about KW Valentine, that's basically what Irene focuses on. She is focusing on like the family atmosphere that's brought to you guys as part of our culture. Social committee, as you can probably guess, that's going to be our fun parties and events that we do. Lindsay's going to be a big hand in those. And her sister Jess is our Capper growth committee. So she's focusing on helping to grow the market center and your downlines with agents that are already out there in production. And then we do come across, again, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with this based off of the last conversation we had, but we do get you guys 2 pillars of mentorship to get started if you are brand new to real estate. And one of which is going to be your productivity coach. So your productivity coach is actually going to be somebody that will be meeting with you every single week in small group settings, but they're going to be pouring into you guys, making sure you understand exactly how to generate business and how to get into production. They're going to be talking about lead generation tactics, talking about market statistics, helping you guys really to hone in and achieve those goals that you've set for yourselves. So please participate in those weekly meetings as often as you can, because you're going to get so much out of them that will help guide you through that first year. But when it comes to assigning you to the coach, you guys, if you've not already met your coach or been introduced to them, you are waiting on a phone call from Michelle Amador, who oversees this program. When she calls you, she wants to get to know you better, get to know your availability so that she can make the best recommendation amongst her coaches for you. Transaction partners is going to be the second piece of that puzzle, and they are going to be our contracts and forms experts, also meeting with you guys in small group settings once a week for the same hour each week. So when it comes to the transaction partner, I actually shoot you guys an email and I ask you what meeting time is going to work best for your schedule. Once I have that information, I can then make the connection between you and your transaction partner. But week after week, you guys are just chunking down the content of those contracts and forms that you're expected to know. And that way they can help you guys to understand how to complete them, understand their significance and what they're containing or disclosing, I should say. And then ideally, you guys could almost draft like your own little templates to look back at, which is really great. And it's just somebody else that you could reach out to in the midst of a transaction. If you're like, hey, this one's a little weird. It's not quite like what I remember talking about in class. Could I ask you this quick question? So it's just another great resource to have in this office. And if you guys, again, have not yet been connected with your transaction partners, I email you in regards to this to your Keller Williams email addresses. So just look in that inbox to see if you can find it from me. If you cannot, just shoot me an email and let me know. I'll make sure that I get you that information shared. And lastly, just some helpful resources and links, but all of that's easier to access from the top. So we are going to swoop back to the very top section. And I promise we do go faster as we go along, just because that is going to be the bulk of what we look at. Under the next tab here, FAQs, if you guys just click on that, it will take you just to, again, some frequently asked questions, giving you basically more of an idea of just what we do on leadership, like what each of us handles. So all you have to do is see what the question is. If you just hover your mouse over it, it will tell you who on leadership will handle that responsibility. So that way, if you have a similar question come up, you have a good idea of who you can reach out to. If you realize that nothing on here looks like your specific question, all you have to do is reach out to me. I'd be happy to then connect you with the next best person if you don't already have that in mind. The next tab I always point out is actually on-demand training. You are going to see that this is a password protected tab. So Abby, since you're here with me in the room, you can look over there on the far whiteboard. It's basically our Wi-Fi password, but I just want you to take away the exclamation point when you type it in on your computer. So it's capital B, lowercase AMC 350. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Like from where I'm standing, there's not. So I'm like, oh, yeah. So just take off the exclamation point and then you'll have it. For those of you who are online, it's a capital B, lowercase A M C 350. And I will repeat that because the next tab will need it as well. But under on-demand training, again, recognizing that you guys all have different schedules and also need information in timely manners. We want to be respectful of that. We want to give you that opportunity. So on the left-hand side, if you click on demand, it will actually take you to our Keller Williams Ballantyne YouTube channel. So on our YouTube channel, you guys can find lots of great information here. Again, recorded trainings. So if you do ever realize like, hey, oh crap, I wasn't able to make it to that team meeting, but I didn't want to miss that panel. I really want to know what they were talking about on social media. You guys could easily come back here and find some of those recordings available to you. So again, we always stress, try your best to do things live, whether it's in person or online. Please try to participate live for trainings just because it gives you the opportunity to ask questions in real time. Again, making hopefully things easier and more clear for you. And we understand life happens. Sometimes you're traveling, sometimes you are sick, and it's okay to be sick. We want you to take care of yourselves. So, in the event that you truly miss something that you just could not make work, this is where you can find a lot of those great recorded trainings. I will give you full disclosure. This is not every single thing you're going to find on the calendar. This is going to be more of like our recurring meetings just to make things easy for you so that you're staying up to date on any changes. And so if you're looking, because I know Jim Stratman does a CMA workshop, if you're like, oh, I didn't do the CMA workshop, that's not something that would end up on here. It's going to be team meetings. It's going to be Tech Tuesdays, marketing masterminds. You'll find everything organized in its playlist below. So that way, again, hopefully no questions on what gets posted here. But if you realize that, oh gosh, the one thing I'm looking for is not here, you guys can always shoot me an email. I'm happy to tell you if I have the recording. Maybe it just couldn't publish straight to YouTube, or if I do not have a recording that I can send to you guys, I'll let you all know. So yes, please try to be present for everything live if you can, but we understand again, there's going to be circumstances where you guys just might not be able to make it work. If you were not able to make it to our inspirational breakfast and you're like, oh my gosh, what was that about? You guys can find that actual full recording right here. So if you would like to still catch that, it was a great event and I'm very grateful that we had it. So you guys can check out what you may have missed. On the right-hand side, very similarly, and I know we talked about it when we all met together, but on the right-hand side, Command on Demand, if you click on that button, it is the Scott Leroy Marketing YouTube channel. This is, again, guys, just over 1,000 videos specific to KW technology that you can go find anytime you need them. They've got videos that are just a couple minutes long, and they've also got full-length trainings available to you. So anytime, again, in those on-demand circumstances, especially after hours, please take a peek at this website or this YouTube channel because there's going to be so much on here that you can find at the touch of a button. So keep that in the back of your minds. And then underneath, we've got the same pin videos from the very first page we looked at. So this is just another easy way to find that information. And a little bit of information about Ignite as well, but we've talked about that together. Office resources, before you click on it, just hover your mouse for a quick second. I always suggest hovering because some of those items that show up in that drop down menu, I think are just way easier to find when you're there versus once you're inside of the tab. But under office resources, you will find, I did mention it earlier, advertising guidelines. That's going to be a big one for you guys. Hi. Hi. How are you? I'm gonna give you a hug. Good to see you too. Good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There's always an incident. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, PJ just, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like PJ just takes it all. I don't know what happened. I'm just kidding. Yeah. See? Mm-hmm. Good to see you too, Jeff. Miss you too. Sorry, guys. It was worth it though. He's an old vendor of ours. I love him. He's an insurance rep, and what they were joking about with a fireball for those online, I'm so sorry. But what they were joking about was that Jeff's whole thing, like what he used to bring by as like a little like giveaway for everybody, was a little fireball bottle, but he would put his sticker on it as an insurance agent. And I was like, yeah, I was like, wow, this is like the most memorable way to do like a little pop by. So yeah, he's great. So yeah, like right, again, you would never forget it. Like my in-laws know about this guy. So sorry, under office resources, you're gonna find this short little drop-down menu. Advertising guidelines, again, if you're not sure what you can and cannot put in your marketing, this is where you guys can find a great resource to disclose a lot of that. Whether you're PB or broker status, it's going to make it a lot more clear what you can and cannot have. If you guys are reading through that and you're like, nope, I still have questions, that's when you can refer to Tasha and she can answer a lot of those specific questions. But that at least would give you guys like a base point to look over. Below that is our KW Ballantyne phone roster. So if you guys are wondering, like, okay, sorry, this is where the password comes into play, but I'll repeat it in just a second. If you guys are wondering, like, where you can access all the other agents in our office, if you just click on the Ballantyne phone roster there, it will open up. You guys can see every single agent and all their contact info. So if you're like, man, I met somebody in class, but I don't know how to get in touch with them, i.e., like maybe PJ, who's popped in now twice. If you're like, I don't know how to reach out to him, you could find him here on this roster. And it just makes it a little bit easier for you guys. It is a live document. So as new agents come in, I can add them to it and you'll see them in real time. And if you guys are ever looking at this and you're like, my contact info is wrong, please email me. Is it wrong? Well, that would be because I actually am just terrible at typing. Not because I don't know how it's spelled. Hold on. No, she's actually very unique. She's Abby, like full blown. Okay, there you go. I should have fixed it. You guys will not accidentally be able to update this, I promise. So that was just a me thing. So that's where you can find the phone roster. Again, sometimes it's easy if you guys have like an open house coming up, or if you guys have maybe a buyer that is looking to just get rid of something, or seller that's getting rid of furniture for free, best offer, whatever. You guys can actually just scoop up all of those email addresses and you could email blast everybody at once. Sometimes that's easier than maybe posting something to Facebook. Sometimes you might want to do both. There's really no wrong answers. I would say try not to abuse the email blast because people might not love that. I'm usually borderline on abusing it because of communicating about tradings and events. So I'm really sorry if I'm getting annoying, guys. It's not the first time. Just delete it and just ignore. But otherwise, you'll see my name in your inbox at least hopefully daily. Just once though. I try not to be over the top. When it comes to sending the email blast, though, if you guys are going to copy and paste all of that at once and drop it into an email, my biggest recommendation is please BCC all of the other agents. Send it to one of them and then BCC everybody else. That way, as they're responding to things, not everybody is seeing every individual response you're getting. It's only coming to you directly. So just keep that in mind. Underneath that in the same drop down menu, there is a concession request. This is something I don't think you guys are going to need right away, but you will likely need it somewhere down the line at some point. If you guys are ever altering your commissions, because Keller Williams is the payee technically, and then we pay you guys as our independent contractors, because we are technically the original payee, we need to be aware of any time you guys are waiving your commission or altering it. And by that, I mean more so like sometimes we'll have somebody who's courteous enough to purchase a home warranty for their clients, in which case you're going to be altering your commission maybe by $500. So if that's the case, we still need to be aware of that change. So what you guys do is you click concession request. It will then allow you to fill out a quick Google form where we collect all the info we need, and then Tasha can shoot you that concession letter as soon as possible. The reason we do the Google form is just so we can get all that info in the first take, and that way she can get the letter to you quickly versus having to go back and forth. But again, not something I expect anybody really to be doing for quite some time, to be truthful, because I know y'all want to make all the money you can for right now, and that's good. And if it ever does seem appropriate to you, you must submit the concession request to get a concession letter. Oh my God. Sorry, I cannot talk. Underneath concession request is the do not call list. That one I know you guys know about. They've talked about that during school, and something that's been very seriously stressed to you, and rightfully so, especially for those of us who plan to do cold calling. Please be careful in who you're contacting, because there is going to become a time where you may accidentally call the wrong person. And that is not fun, because you actually can be subject to thousands of dollars in fines and court time. So, like, double whammy on that. It's really miserable. I'm not going to lie. So, to avoid that happening to any one of you guys, we want to make sure that you have access to everybody on that list, so you know that you are not calling somebody that's specifically asked not to be contacted. So all you have to do is click on the do not call list item in this drop down menu, and it will give you step-by-step instructions on how to register for that so that you can actually access that information. Everything else that's listed, though, you can officially access once you're inside the tab. So I am just going to click on Office Resources, and I promised I would repeat the password for those of us online. It's going to be a capital B, lowercase a, M, C, 350, and that should let you into that tab. In this tab, you're going to see a series of buttons up top here titled Forms and Checklists. Because I think, again, most of us are North Carolina licensed, the left-hand button here under General Forms is going to say Get Forms. If you click on that, you are going to find a Google Drive folder built up of all the North Carolina specific forms that you may need for KW Ballantyne. So keep in mind, when it comes to state contracts and forms, that's going to be found in your DocuSign account. When it comes to KW Ballantyne specific things like our W-9, when you guys are working referrals, our referral agreements, are working with real estate agents, disclosures about our partnerships, septic and sewer is one that you guys will find out Sabra always wants to have record of, for your protection, not for an inconvenience. But there's all of these documents that are unique to our brokerage that we ask for, you can find right here in the Google Drive folder. So I always tell you guys, if you are starting, wow, thank you. I always tell you guys that if you are starting by excuse me, now I can have lost my train of thought. If you are starting in your DocuSign account, then and you're not seeing certain forms, you can then come to this Google Drive folder, and they're likely to be in here already. If you guys start in the Google Drive folder here and you're missing something, go to DocuSign. So between the two resources, you should have everything you need. This is going to be your North Carolina specific forms, though. For those of us who are South Carolina licensed or become South Carolina licensed, those are just going to be on the right-hand side. So keeping it easy for you. And then the middle button here says Get Checklist. This is also a great Google Drive folder. Sabra put all of this together herself, but she has quite literally broken down everything you need to know about what you are responsible for handling for any state, north or south, or buyer seller side. So this will break down all of your responsibilities as the agent, if there is a timetable associated with it, and then you can literally sit there and check it off so that you feel like, great, I got that done. And we do this specifically because, one, there's nothing worse, I think, again, than the initial nerves you feel as a brand new agent. You're like, okay, I don't want to mess up. I want to make sure I get everything taken care of. I don't miss anything. So we want to make sure, because it's not muscle memory and it's not supposed to be yet, we want to make sure you have additional confidence going into those first few deals. So these checklists literally will break down everything that needs to happen. Again, you'll see at the top if it's North Carolina, if it's going to be buyer's responsibilities or seller's responsibilities, South Carolina, etc. So do look at this, print them off too if you really want to, just so you can sit there and check it off. I'm big on my to-do list. So if you guys have that same feeling about things like that, you can go ahead and just print them off and use them anytime you need to. But those are going to be great checklists to keep handy, especially for those first few deals until you start to feel like you've got a good grip and you know it naturally. Underneath all of those buttons we looked at, though, there's a little way for us to connect to the CE shop, which is one of the real estate resources, real estate school resources we partner with. If you click on Find Classes, the real reason I want to show you this is just for two quick pieces. Through our partnership, you guys do have access to discounts through the CE shop. They fluctuate, so it's not always going to be the same deal. They do a lot of flash, like 1-day deals. Pretty sure don't quote me on it, but I think next Wednesday they're going to do 40% off if anybody needs to get post licensing done or anything like that. If they are doing a flash 1 day deal, I will always post about it on our private Facebook group at 8 o'clock in the morning. It goes live, so that way y'all can take advantage of it. But on the CE Shop website, you're going to see this great little orange button that says free trial. For those of us who don't know, the CE Shop is big on self-paced learning. If you've never once done that before and you're like, ooh, this could go really good or this could go really bad, this is your opportunity to check it out. Try before you buy, commit to what is a week trial. You can get a full experience in that week of like, do I like it? Do I not like it? If you felt like it was a success, you can plug in your credit card info and go from there. If you felt like it was a failure and you don't want to look back at that, you can walk away and then go register for something with Superior. It's great. But that's going to be how you guys can try out self-paced learning, which is pretty cool. And then I always show this extra little bonus item just for your convenience at the very bottom. I swear it was in larger print at the top of this page a long time ago because I would never have seen this otherwise. But under Agent Essentials, there's this teeny tiny little hot topics button. If you click on that, it actually takes you to a library of podcasts, books, blogs, and videos. If you guys are curious, not only is this content that you could benefit from as the agent and just staying ahead as a leading expert, but one of the really cool things about the content here is that it's something you could easily share as well. And the reason I say that is because I know social media marketing is a big thing right now in the industry, and it should be because it's kind of like limitless in what you can do with it. And it's usually very inexpensive if there's any cost at all. So one of the challenges that comes with marketing through social media is that typically speaking, there's two really, really important things. And I'm not your marketing expert. That's going to be Leah and Jules. But two really important things is one, you must be posting regularly. If you are not posting every single day, it's like every couple days so that you are staying in front of people and your name is staying in front of them. You're also going to want to diversify what you're posting to your page because if you're not posting different things, you're not gaining new traffic. Because eventually the algorithms also will say, great, like nobody interacted with this yesterday. They don't care about it today. And they'll just kind of push it away so that people can't see it. So to keep your content fresh, original, different, and also making it easier for you to generate that content, if you guys need an easy button, just share one of these one day. It just takes away the kind of like overhanging responsibility of like, oh my gosh, what do I put? Just share one of these. If you're ever unsure of what you want to post, but you know you got to get that done, you guys can always lean into these resources here, and that's an easy way for you to change up what you're doing. That was everything on the CE Shop. So I am just taking us right back to our KWB resources page. There's also access on this is still our office resources. This is going to be access to the floor plan. I have never had anybody ask me for it, but it is there if you feel like you might be the first. It's there. Underneath that, though, numbers to know. These are going to be helpful pieces of information that typically you guys are not going to be asked for often enough to memorize it, i.e. like our federal tax ID, again, doing referrals, our firm license number, so that if you are going to get your South Carolina license and you realize you need to fill out that information on your application, that's where you can find things like that. Our market center numbers on the left-hand side as well. So different things that you're not necessarily going to have ingrained in your brain, but things that are going to be useful to have down the line. If you lose track of where this information is on the page, just reach out to me. I can direct you back to it, but just making sure you guys know where you can find some of those helpful numbers because they are out there somewhere. Other than that, we talked about Office Calendar. It does all the work for you. It'll drag you to that section. I didn't have to do anything, which is great. And the next couple things I promise are more talking points than anything, so we could probably zip through this. But under the More tab here, if you guys see, a lot of this we've already looked at, so don't freak out because that's a very big drop-down menu. It did not used to look like that, but you'll find a lot of tech resources are just conveniently located in that menu. You could easily click on them to go to specific items. But after that, you're also going to find some different pieces like our ALC meeting minutes. So if you said, okay, great, I missed the ALC meeting, but I know that they were voting maybe on the transaction fee and if we were going to increase it, and you're like, I gotta know if that's something that's going to impact me later on. You guys can always come back to our ALC meeting minutes because they're offered in person only. There are no recordings to share with you. And we still will track and document those meeting minutes so that you can go back and find out information you may have missed. Underneath that, you'll find also a prayer request form. This is more of a talking point than anything. Of course, you're welcome to fill out the form itself, but really just reminding you guys that from the moment you walk through the door, you very sincerely are considered a member of this family. So if there's ever anything going on in your world and you feel comfortable sharing that with somebody, please do. We want to know what's going on in your world so that we can support you to the best of our ability. If that's just giving you a hug in the hallway, checking in on you, sending you a card in the mail, or even we have a local KW Cares, which is our charitable arm, specifically to support our agents in times of need. So sometimes if it's going to be that level, we might be able to then step in even more so than just passing each other in the hallway, checking in. We might be able to actually give you guys some of the donations that have been received through KW Cares. So just please make us aware of what's happening so that we can best support you. We want to make sure everybody's well and thriving all the time because we care about you guys. Below the prayer request form is KW Perks. KW Perks is going to be for insurance. If this is your first time in independent contracting, you don't currently have insurance through your employer anymore, sorry. You can actually click on KW Perks there. It allows you to search the marketplace at a discounted rate. I cannot guarantee what level of discount we're looking at, folks. Unfortunately, I have no control over that. But you can plug in just some of your basic information and at least shop around. Even if you have insurance, hey, there might be something better out there for you and your family. So keep that in mind. If insurance is something in the back of your brain right now, just explore it. It really can't hurt. You don't have to use it, but it could help you. As I mentioned, just because there's a bunch of easier ways to get to things, schedule a conference room is going to be listed here as well. That's much easier for you guys than to go ahead and book that conference room. Underneath that, you'll see KWB firm exclusive listings. So sometimes what will happen within our agent base is agents will take listings, but they will not put them into MLS. They are actually going to hold on to them and make them firm exclusive, meaning that only other agents in KW Ballantyne have access to that listing. So the reason I point this out is because this is a live document that exists that Sabre actually keeps and maintains. So as you or any other agents are submitting firm exclusive documentation, she's updating that spreadsheet to track that information. She puts a little bit of info about the property. She puts the listing agent and their contact information so that way you guys can easily connect with that agent if it's a property of interest for you or your clients. Biggest reason that I point this out is because there may be days that you realize you have exhausted MLS and there is nothing matching your buyer's criteria. That is not to say that you've seen technically everything. So if you guys are feeling like, oh my gosh, there's nothing out there, always come back to the firm exclusive listings because there very well may be something that is listed just with us that you're not seeing in MLS. So just be aware that that sheet exists. It's also pinned to the top of our private Facebook group as well. Underneath is strategic vendor partners. This one I do click on because I want you to see that if you are not a Facebook user, that happens sometimes, or if maybe you just forgot to join that specific group, we do also track our vendors on a fantastic spreadsheet here. Again, a live document. So as vendors are being added to the program, you see it in real time. But this way you can easily see we've organized them by industry. So it's really easy to understand, okay, great. Like that's all the new construction people that are part of our vendor program right in this one section. Okay, great. That's going to be all of my TCs that I could reach out to if I'm curious about partnering with one of them. So keep this in mind, again, just in case you forget to join that Facebook group or if that's not your favorite thing to do in the world is Facebook. This is another way for you guys to get in touch with those same vendors and find out more about them. It will specify who our point of contact is, who they work with, and also their specific services. Last thing I would mention with this is you'll notice under cleaning, for example, we do not have anyone currently listed. It's not because we hate cleaning services. It's just because nobody is currently with our vendor program in that industry. So if you guys meet vendors that have done a great job that you would like to recommend for our program or encourage them to then join our program, or if it's even somebody that's a family friend of yours that you know does a great job, somebody that's worked on your personal home, anytime you guys have recommendations like that, all you have to do is actually connect that vendor in particular with Kyrie Smith. He's overseeing our vendor program and serving as the liaison for it. Connect him and Kyrie or her and Kyrie on an email. He's got business cards at the front desk, so that way you can easily grab his info. You also know where our phone roster is now, so you can grab it from there. But connect them via email, and Kyrie will then step in. He will talk to them about the vendor program. He will give them all the details, so you do not have to know that information top of mind. And he will also offer a tour of the office for them too. So he really does do a lot of the legwork on that. And then if they are still committed at that point, after learning about what we have to offer and seeing that it's a win-win opportunity, they will join the program and you'll find them right here on the spreadsheet. So keep that in mind. If you guys have some recommendations, we would love to meet them. And a little bit further, Outfront Magazine on this drop down menu, guys, that's a lot like the Hot Topic section of CE Shop that we looked at. It's also going to have a lot of great social media content you can use. So again, if you're struggling to come up with original ideas one day, Outfront Magazine publishes a calendar each month that literally outlines a social media post for every single day. I don't know if it's copy and paste worthy. I do always have to share that. Like, I don't know if it's copy and paste worthy or more like a prompt to help you, but either way, it's moving you in the right direction, which is really great. So again, you might never find that you need it, and I hope you don't in a way that you're just naturally that gifted with social media. And if you feel like you're struggling, you will not be the first person or the last person. So you can totally use Outfront Magazine. And then the last item in this drop down is actually discount codes for real estate education. It will take you to a spot where you can easily get back to that CE Shop site we looked at. But also, we do partner with Superior too. Superior, instead of fluctuating like the CE Shop does, Superior is always 30% off, no matter what course type you're looking for. What I will tell you guys is that not only is this something you, of course, can benefit through, this is also something I want you to be aware of because you have the ability and you're encouraged actually. You're welcome to share this information with other people. So it doesn't have to be somebody affiliated with KW Ballantyne. If your neighbor said, "Hey, I'm looking to get into real estate. I know you're an agent. What does that process look like?" You can make their day just by sending them a pre-licensing discount and making it cheaper for them to get into the business. You are supporting them through their decisions at that point and getting into this new chapter. And there's no obligation for them to join KW Ballantyne after. So if you guys would like to share that with them, they don't have to join us. It's just a nice gesture more than anything. And it can also be used as a great tool for those of you who want to build your passive income through profit share. If you're trying to add people to your downline, a great way to do that is to keep in touch with them and help them get into the industry. So if that rings any bells or sounds interesting to you, use these codes for that purpose or use them for yourself. Doesn't matter to me, but they are out here for you to enjoy. Only other buttons I know we talked about when we all met together. The marketing help button here is to schedule 30 minutes of time for free with Jules and Leah, our marketing team. It will take you directly to their calendar where you can book an in-person or online meeting where you guys would have one-on-one conversations specific to your marketing strategy, which can be fantastic. So just be aware of the fact that they are encouraging you guys to meet with them. They would love to. They teach classes every single Thursday. But again, if you're looking for something more specific to your business that's not yet been talked about, or maybe you want further elaboration, they're a great team to partner with. They also offer concierge services that you guys can explore with them at a later date. And that's where you guys can actually just leverage through them, pay them to just do something for you so that you don't have to. Otherwise, they will teach you how to do everything for free. So that way you can then implement it on your own. The button next to that is tech help. So again, similar concept, 30-minute meetings in person or online specific to you and your business, but this is focusing exclusively on KW technology, whether it's KW Command, DocuSign, the app on your phone. If you guys have questions about that, if you want to explore or learn how to do things at a higher level with any of that, you can meet with Rob Miller. He's our tech coordinator. Again, 30-minute meetings with him for free. Also through that same button, you can also schedule your media room training sessions. So we talked about that. Before you can book and use our media room, you got to make sure you know how to use the equipment. Sorry. And it's going to be helpful for you guys more than anything so that when you're here on your own, you're not like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to turn the camera on. So Rob will teach you guys how to use all that equipment in 2 different sessions. So book those media room training sessions using the same button. But otherwise, the media room is free resource for you to use. The last thing I will point out, and then I promise I will let you guys go, is actually this book, A Call Time Shift at the Front Desk. So as you guys may have noticed, every time you come into the lobby, Sue's up at the front desk, but sometimes there's also another agent with her up there. That's actually what we consider to be call time. And those are three-hour shifts every single day that are offered. So if you have the availability in your schedule and you're really interested in like maybe can I go sit up at the front desk, it's a great way not only for you guys to get to know the office, get to know other agents, but it's really, really cool too because you also get to take any inbound leads. So people sometimes, it's weird, but people will call KW Ballantyne and just say, I'm looking for an agent, in which case that could be you. So if you guys volunteer for those shifts, not only will you get your bearings here in the office and start building your own community here, but you'll also be able to take any hot leads that come through to the front desk, which is absolutely a win. Sue's always looking to make new friendships with a lot of our new agents, but she also is always looking for help up there. So if that's something that fits in your schedule, all you have to do is click on that button. It will take you to the calendar where you can literally see when they've got available shifts and you can book whatever time slot works for you. There's an 8:30 to 11:30 shift, 11:30 to 2:30, and 2:30 to 5:30. Monday through Friday. There's also the ability for you guys to do call time on weekends where you would be the only person answering any phone calls that get forwarded to you. So if you would like to learn more about call time, Sue teaches a great class once a month. You'll find, I think the next one's November 3rd. So that same Ignite week, she'll be teaching her class in person and online. But if you need to have conversations with her sooner, you can just stop at the front desk and ask her. She's more than happy to share about call time. And I just want to double check. I saw something in the chat. How do we get our KW email? Your KW email has been sent to you by the Scott Leroy marketing team. So once you've been onboarded with me, you will already have your Keller Williams email shared with you in an email from the Scott Leroy team. It's going to break down all your new technology. And one of the first couple things in that is going to say your Google Workspace information. It'll have your KW email and your password. It is just a Gmail account, so it's super easy to use. And that is typically, unless you guys have told us otherwise, that's your primary form of contact moving forward, just to help y'all stay organized. So hopefully that answers your question. If you are struggling to find that email in your inbox, shoot me an email and I can forward it over to you just to make it easy. But otherwise, that's everything I usually go over. I know we went a little bit over time today, so I apologize for that, but I appreciate everybody for hanging in there. Outside of that little bit that we just went over for KW emails, does anybody have any questions on what we might have covered? Can I go back through something? Because I like ran through it so quickly that you think your head's going to spin off. Like, if there is anybody that I can help to answer a question online, feel free to shout it out or put it in the chat. I know Abby, you said you're good. I'll give everybody online just a minute here, but if you are good to go online and in person, you guys are free to enjoy your weekend. I appreciate everyone for being here. Please go enjoy the sunshine while it's still here. It's not super, super cold at this point in the day. It was very cold this morning. I was not a fan of that. But thank you everybody for your time. I really appreciate it. If you have
I have a
questions
quick
on anything
question.
you heard today, reach out to me. Or you can always go back to our YouTube channel for the KW Ballantyne office and you can find a recorded version of today's class too. Yay.
I have a question if you can hear
Guys,
me.
have a great weekend.
Hello?